I watched. You know what I did last night? I had a few drinks and I watched Raw. Okay.
What were you drinking?
What I have, just some Grand Marnier. Mm-hmm. So I watched Raw. All right, and it was terrible. And I'm reading this thing like I gotta kind of remember this. I'm kind of having to read, what happened. But did you see the opening? Did you see any of it, Joe? Did you see any of it, Conan?
The beginning where they got into a fight, Becky and Ronda with the girls that were I forgot who.
No. Becky got in an argument with Stephanie and Hunter and yeah.
Okay.
Then the out to the segment was like Sasha and Bayley came down.
Yeah.
And they're coming to the ring, and the segment kind of just like ended with them coming into the ring, and there were like 2 empty microphones just still in the ring, laying on the mat, and they just like came to the ring and went to commercial break. And I was like, and I'm watching, I was like, I literally had to rewind. I was like, were they supposed to like have an in-ring, and maybe they called it off, and like Vince, like everybody left the ring for that? It was very bizarre. It was a very, very weird out.
Yeah, the placement was very weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Yeah, it stood out. It stood out as like
because it's like
So
like
what did it look like to you? What did it look like to you? Happened.
I didn't see it as maybe they had a promo coming and they bumped it. It just seemed like Disco said that it was a strange way to end the segment because nothing was resolved yet.
It's completely flat.
Yeah,
it's like they went out
and they didn't come back to
on
it.
them leaving the ring, and the other two like Bayley and Sasha had no confrontation with her or any. There was no. They just came out, did their entrance. They were like, "Yay!" Yeah. Like literally, like it's like.
Now, why did they come out? It was
just weird. It was just very, very poorly produced.
Okay, wait 1 second. Why that shirt is not over?
It is over. Why are you doing the shirt?
You know why?
They had.
You know he's wearing that because I wore it. Why wouldn't you wear any of my merchandise, Conan?
What merchandise?
Like that, what Joe has.
Like the Disco Inferno.
Why don't you buy some?
I've never even seen that.
Why don't you fucking support and buy some my Ship Pro Wrestling tees? Quit being a dirtbag and quit being cheap.
You know what? In about 10 minutes, I'm going to put on a shirt with your name on it. Let me see.
They came out for a tag match is what happened, Conan. But it's just the way they came out and when that was kind of like it just
very weird. Just a terribly produced.
Okay, my question is here's my other question. So when they came back from the commercial, did they go back to that at all?
They had a match against Tamina and Nia Jackson, Tamina, and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Let me tell you something too. Some of those girls are just not. Like I said, some of the girls are good and some of the girls aren't. And the girls that aren't good stick out like a sore thumb. Right. They're just not. Their timing is poor. They can't really act very well. It's just I don't know. The match stunk.
Who in that match would you say that about? That was kind of sticking out.
Not like everybody, but like Bayley and Sasha just didn't really. They try to it's like they do these spots and they're just not. They don't look natural at all. Like they look like you struggle through everything. How did EC3 look? First of all, these guys say EC3 got no pop. Bro, nobody was getting a pop on the show. The crowd was dead. Yeah.
Even Becky.
This show was like, everybody.
Her first entrance was kind of like subdued,
what were they at,
really.
you know?
It was just lame stuff, lame matches. The matches were way too long. The matches were long, and the work was like all right. The tag match is good, but there was a 20-minute tag match that those guys won the titles on. Bro, you save that shit for pay-per-view. You're gonna put a 20-minute tag match on the show. I just don't see the purpose in that. I mean, this is nobody gives. It's like this show was designed to get people to change the channel.
Here's something weird. So we're always complaining how bad the show is, and we're not alone. And and of course, like I don't know, Joe. 2 months ago, they said they were going to reset the button.
Yeah.
Remember when they put all the heat on Corbin? Mm-hmm. They haven't reset shit. And I know for a fact that they're telling talent for the first time ever, if you have any ideas, come to us with them, which tells me one of two things. Either they realize their writing team sucks or isn't that good or isn't working, or they finally realize, hey, some of the best ideas come from the boys. Let's start listening to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we've essentially, half of us have gotten ourselves over before we get there anyways.
Yep. This girl Ruby Riot's supposed to be fighting Ronda, right? Bro, oh my god!
It says they were in Grand Rapids, Michigan, by the way.
They were great, which is that sounds like So Ruby Riott wrestled called Nikki Cross, and it was not good at all. And like, bro, if Ruby Riott's wrestling, if you're trying to build up anticipation for a match where Ruby Riott is wrestling, this is her last match before she's fighting Ronda Rousey, okay, and you want to make her look good, and she's fighting Nikki Cross, who is just gimmicky, but just how would you book this?
If
I'm booking it, hey, we got to get her ready for Ronda. She's fighting Ronda this weekend. How we get people to like? How excited how do we build this? What would you ever do?
Squash somebody credible.
I would have her go in there and just shoot on her. Hit her with a couple of men, maybe even choke her out or something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Ronda, I'm ready. If you want to wrestle, we can wrestle. But if we want to shoot, we can shoot. Whatever. You build that. Bro, it took her 5.5 minutes to beat this girl, and it wasn't good. I'm like, Jesus. I was like, I don't know. Just like this at this point, I always sound bitter and stuff and everything. Elias is great.
No, on this, you're not. You're not sounding bitter. You're right.
Yeah.
If not, I'll tell you. I'll give you the.
The show just stuck out as like there's so many. Like when I was watching it, there were so many.
Bro, I saw, but
then I was like, I don't want to take up the whole show talking about how like the place just the stuff didn't make sense. The match was just like it was just